We're working on the final stages of go-outs with Happy, including mistakes and all. So if you haven't seen the go-outs part 1 and 2, you can click on that right here. You definitely have to do that part first before working on filtering out the rest of these steps. Now I'm working with a mat instead of working in an exercise ring. And see, at this point I'm still putting a treat down, and I used a hand gesture to get her to go out. And she only needed a verbal cue to lay down, which is really good for her. So it looked like Happy, go out. And then I waited till she found the treat and ate it. And then I verbally told her to down, which she did without any problems here. Now what we're working on is trying to filter out the hand motion, the treat on the mat, as well as be able to create more distance. Okay, so on this one there's no treat, and I didn't do the hand motion, but I had to come in to have her lay down. I knew I would because there was no treat on the mat, but I was able to filter out the hand motion on the go out. So you see on that one, I tried to do a verbal go out and it didn't work, so then I added in the hand motion. There was no treat, and I told her to down. So I'm just giving you some options here. Whenever you're filtering things out, you got to mix it up. Sometimes there's a treat, sometimes there's not. Sometimes I do the hand gesture to go out, sometimes I don't. And that's probably one of the most difficult things to filter out, because you make this movement forward, which makes it so obvious for them that they're supposed to shoot out, that when you take that away from them and you don't step forward when you say, you know, dog, go out, it can be really difficult for them to filter out that step. So keep making it fun. I put a treat on the mat, and so I didn't have to do the hand motion right here. All I did was just say go out. Oh, and see, she started to come to me. She forgot. So I only had to take one step in to make her lay down. That's not too bad. If this became a habit, I would be really strict and actually go all the way in and make her go back to her mat. But that was pretty good. I mean, she's learning. So there's no treat, so she's looking for it. So when she looks at me, I gave her a hand motion to lay down. So it's all about trying to filter out these tiny things. You want to get to a point where you're not doing any hand motions and you just say, Happy, go out, down, and come. And then you'll tell them to finish or go back to heel, which is another step of this. Oh, see, she got a smell. See that distraction right there? So I make her go back to her mat, and she has to lay down. So it's just about all these little things that you can start mixing up, and it can be a lot of fun for them, and it's really good exercise for them as well, as you can see. And if you can't have your dog off leash outside, no problem, just get a long line, and that'll fix that issue. Also, something else I'd like to point out, especially for those of you who have taken my classes, sometimes I reward her when she comes to me, and then sometimes I wait and have her do a finish or a return to heel before I reward her. Basically, I just mix it up. That's the whole point, is that you really have to, you know, keep them on their toes and always do things different to make it fun. For instance, pretty soon this mat is going to get boring, and I'll start having her target, you know, more fun things like rocks and things like that she can jump up on. She'll have a lot more fun doing that. This is just the base. And then in a setting where you're actually working to compete, they work in a ring, and they go to the end of the ring. So this is just really fun targeting. So I put a treat down, so I didn't have to do the hand motion, but I do have to wait for her to look at me, so she'll lay down. We gotta filter that out still. But you can see how much fun she's having doing this. That's really important, to have those go-outs really strong. Now, I'm not putting a treat down and going from halfway to see if I can get her to, yes, very nice. No hand motion for the down, so that was good. So I'm continually mixing it up. That's the point here. Also, you can have your dog sit or lay down. Either one works. So this was our final one. See, it takes her a minute of sniffing around. She thinks there should be a treat there before she lays down. But she did it with no hand cue and no hand cue for either except for the come. But if you'll notice, I kind of did a little hop and I didn't even mean to, and I'll show that again because sometimes you give cues and you don't even realize it. So right here it's happy go out, and then you see this hop that I do right there. So you don't even realize you do some of these things. Now I want to go over some applications for this. First I'm going to show you what it looks like in competition, where they're used to practicing up against a fence rather than targeting any spot. And then how it applies to the real world and how you can make this really fun for your dog. Now online you're going to find lots of different ways to teach go outs, and honestly all of them will work for different dogs. It really depends on your dog. I like the way that I teach it, obviously, just because I make it more into a game and I make it more about targeting a place, which transitions to really fun stuff I'm going to show you. So this is competition. That was his go out, and then he says sit, and then he uses his hand to signal which jump he wants the dog to go over, and then the dog does a really nice front, and then he does a finish to heel. Now you might wonder, well, how am I supposed to use something like this that's used for competition? There are so many ways. This is a perfect example of a woman who generalizes the place command and teaches go-outs to her dog to just jump on anything that's basically sticking up in the air. It just makes things so much more fun. And then this is a famous dog. The link is here. I do suggest you guys to watch these 2 videos. How do you think they do this parkour training? They start by teaching the place command and then teaching them to go out and target these areas. So yeah, you can really have a lot of fun with your dog, even if you don't pay for agility classes or do hunting trials and things like that. You can really have a blast with your dog in the park. Not to mention, it gives you an excellent recall. Okay, so if you want to incorporate some agility, you can get really inexpensive agility equipment online on Amazon. Just type in agility for dogs. We're going to start with Allie. She's never done this before. She is such a confident dog. I thought she might just go right over it without me having to go over it with her, but you saw she dodged it. So this time I go over it with her. It makes it much easier for the dog to understand what you want. Oh, see, she tries to dodge it again, but she decides to follow me. And then it gets really easy for her. We just start going through it over and over, and then it's just lots of fun for her. Then she starts actually doing that hop that you see, which is really what you want. I mean, you want this to be really exciting for them. So that's what you have to do. You have to break it up individually. If you want them to start doing go-outs and then stopping when you ask them, or targeting something specific, and then pointing to a jump or another obstacle to jump over. It doesn't have to be a jump. This is how you do it. You teach the jump first. Then when they're comfortable with the jump, you have them go to your place and see, I walk over the jump and I ask for Allie, come. I don't have a command for this yet. I'm just asking for her to come to me, and I have a treat that she knows I have. She can see me luring her with. See, so she's just following me. And I want to point out, I'm walking over the jump. I mean, that really is key here. If you try to skip that as well, just like I kind of did in the beginning, you're going to see it's not going to pay off. So this time I'm going to try to just lure her rather than jump over the jump. And see, it doesn't work. So it's, uh-oh, go back to your mat, sit, wait. Now I try it again and go deeper, and it works that time. Now you really have to watch the leash here so you don't knock over the pole. Yes. So again, that's all I'm doing is I'm leaning over and luring with my hand rather than actually walking over the jump. That's what I'm filtering out. And my body is still to the side. Just make sure you watch that leash, that you don't get it, when she jumps over the jump, you don't get it hooked on it. And we'd be off leash, but we're in a busy public park, so it's necessary to figure out how to work with the leash. Now this is a really good one. I'm saying wait. Allie, come. Yes. And then we do it again. Now we really are just having fun here. She hasn't learned fronts or return to heel yet, but you can imagine how much fun this would be in the backyard, and then we can add structure to it later. Okay, so speaking of having fun, Happy already does agility, so it makes this a bit easy. However, something new we're doing is targeting cones, because it'll be much easier for me, just with her personality, to be able to put a cone on a rock or a picnic table and really teach her that she can jump on anything that I point to, and then I can filter out the cone later. So for the sake of time, I'm not going to show the go-outs. I'm just going to show, the aspect of really what you can do here with the agility. This is her first time doing the jumps in this way, and as you can see, she's missing the jump. So she's never done it off of a stay like that. So I'm just moving the jump in, so she definitely understands what I want at this point. So see, now she'll follow. Very good. Now all I'm doing is I'm pointing to what I want her to go to. Now she's used to that in agility, but what she's not used to is me facing her. Usually I'm running away from her, which is why you see me turn my body right there when I'm pointing. So then I try it the other way, and she nails it. So just to point out, I'm actually stepping with my back facing her, and that is just because she's used to agility. And that's also why she's crashing into me. She's not used to stopping in front of me. It's usually a fluid motion on to the next thing. So that was her own specific issues with this particular challenge. So your dog is going to have its own specific issues that you're going to have to work with. So on this next one, I try to do it the right way, which is how you saw in that short competition clip. So I go out to the side facing her, and she got it this time because I had practiced it the other way. She just needed to know what it was that I wanted from her, and she did great that time. So if this was competition, just so you know, I would filter out the step and the leaning my body over. They just use their hand to show which jump they want the dog to go over. And then I would also space the obstacles out further, and you would start off with your go out and then target what you wanted your dog to jump over. But as you can see, you don't have to have competition. This is not about that. This is about having fun with your dog and being able to point to things and your dog know what to do with that, whether it be jump up on top of it or jump over it or whatever the case may be. This is just about teaching your dog to target things and to build that relationship between the two of you and just have a blast.